We have a unique business model. We love royalties. Royalties are phenomenal financial instruments with immense embedded optionality in them. Commodity price optionality, which, if Greg's right, is one that we all want to be exposed to, but also discovery optionality across the portfolio that is created for the royalty holder, because as you own those royalties, all the monies that go into the ground are being expended by the counterparty at no expense to us. And that creates that opportunity to be exposed to that upside. And that's why you want to own royalties and royalty portfolios. We accumulate royalties in two distinct manners. One is through royalty generation. We're the most prolific royalty generator on the planet. We've sold over 85 projects in the last 5 years, creating 85 new royalties. And how we do that is we utilize our economic geology talent to go out and acquire prospective mineral rights, build geologic models, illustrate that prospectiveness to an industry hungry for new discovery opportunities, sell those on for a combination of cash payments, share payments, work commitments in ground, and always a production royalty at the end of the day. And that's been building the base of our pyramid with dominantly early stage assets, which are ever increasing that concept of discovery optionality. And then to augment that portfolio, we also buy royalties, and that helps populate the top of the pyramid. And as Greg pointed out, we're at the hinge point now where the amount of cash flow that's emanating from this is transformative. And we're in the position where we're moving from a junior company that's been building a royalty portfolio to a mid-tier company with strong cash flows. And that's been happening over the course of the last couple of years. Now, there's a third thing that we do that has been quite profitable to our shareholders over our time, and that's making strategic investments. So the same team of economic geologists around the world looking for opportunities to buy royalties, acquiring prospective mineral rights, selling those on, occasionally come across an opportunity where we cannot not own the stock. There's one key nickel company, Premium Nickel Resources, that we own 5% of. That's a strategic investment that we have on the books right now. Many others that we have made over the course of the company have netted out in profits over $60 million over a 20-year history. So that's a nice amount of money that has come into the company through those strategic investment gains, which we have redeployed right back into royalty acquisition and royalty generation. And that has resulted in this portfolio of nearly 5 million acres of mineral rights worldwide. And I'll go through and there's 180 royalties, 266 mineral property positions that we built over the last 20 years. And I'll point out some of the key ones here that are really driving value within that portfolio. The Leeville mine, where I worked when I was a young geologist for Newmont Mining Corporation in the heart of the Nevada goldfields, now operated by Barrick as part of the Newmont Barrick Nevada Gold Mines joint venture. Leeville is paying us nicely. It's on a trend line of paying about $2.5 million USD per year. That's gold dominant royalty. We've received about $20 million in royalty payments over the course of time that we've had that royalty. And we can all do the financial engineering and understand what a royalty is worth based upon the reserves and what's coming out of the ground, but you really want to own them for the discovery optionality. And I want to point out a couple of key discoveries that are being made in our portfolio in the United States right now. One being at Park Salyer. This is a substantial porphyry copper system that we have a chunk of. The discovery there by Arizona Sonora Copper Company, a stock you might want to look at, triggered a $3 million stage gate payment to us. We oftentimes build in stage gate payments, annual payments, in addition to the royalty payments that come later on, and that's a good example. We have a nice royalty on that system, nice discovery. Another good example is the South 32, which is a major mining company, advanced a copper, zinc, silver discovery called Peak, also in Arizona. And then just yesterday, Salina deposit being advanced by Chad Peters at Ridgeline Resources, a nice discovery hole in a lead zinc silver zone where we have a royalty. It was on a project that we sold to Ridgeline many years ago. It's a great example of this concept of discovery optionality within the portfolio. This happens because we have counterparties that are spending $30 to $40 million per year drilling and working and doing exploration work across our properties. And that's creating that discovery optionality that comes at no cost to us. Moving to South America, our largest cash flowing royalty right now is Caserones. That's paying pre-tax around $10 million USD per year. This is copper and molybdenum. We're delighted to be exposed to long life copper assets. We believe that copper demand in the in the world is only going to augment. Copper right now is around $4.25 a pound, and this is in what some people consider to be an economic downturn. What's it going to be? What will it look like if the electrification of the transportation grid continues and demand for copper explodes? It could be very interesting. I think that copper price could pull up palladium. Other discoveries ongoing in South America on Diablios gold silver system. I know Greg is interested in this particular asset. Some wonderful drill holes coming out of there, and another example of discovery optionality within the portfolio. We're the largest single mineral rights holder of any company in Fennoscandia, and the closest to production is the Viscaria gold and copper mine in the Coruna district. They're about 18 months away, so that'll be a producer, probably the next producing royalty within the portfolio. Going down to Turkey, the Balyamine lead zinc silver that recently went into production, part of our transformation into having strong cash flows, and the Gediktepe mine, where we have a 10% royalty. This is paying around 10 million USD per year, gold dominant, nice silver credit there as well. I do want to make sure that I point out our Timok mine in Serbia, where we have a royalty. This is the largest copper and gold discovery ever in the history of Europe. It is in production. It's operated by Xinjiang. We do have a royalty on this. That royalty was subject to a dispute. We threatened to go to arbitration. Xinjiang agreed that, or came to us actually, and said they'd rather settle it amicably. We've been in those negotiations now for about a year. I'm quite confident that it will be settled, and when it's settled, the market will enjoy the settlement numbers that we've come up with. But that has created a cloud over the stock and created a buying opportunity, in my opinion. I remain quite confident that this will be completely settled in a manner that our shareholders will appreciate. I just want to make sure I point that out. Now, I mentioned our strategic investing activities. We do have this is not a royalty, but a share ownership. We own 5% of Premium Nickel Resources in Botswana, they're near South Africa. And they had a nice copper and nickel dominant drill intercept over the last, that was announced yesterday, I believe. Nice hit, another example of discovery optionality within the portfolio. We own that stock because of what our geological intellect has told us. We think that there's a fantastic discovery in the making there. I recommend you take a look at that. Our strategic investing track record throughout our history has done pretty well. So it's worth taking a look at that one, in my view. So, we've had great support from industry shareholders throughout the history of the company. Newmont Mining Corporation, the IFC was a large shareholder at one point in time. Barrick was a shareholder at one point in time. And I want to point out that Franco-Nevada, the premier royalty company in the world, now owns 6% of EMX. We're the only junior royalty company that they've ever invested in. And that's a salient point. And I believe that it's likely that we'll continue to do good work with Franco. Paul Brink, the CEO of Franco-Nevada, has said that they specifically own this stock because they believe in our royalty generation activities. So I'm more than happy to take a couple of questions. Thank you, everybody.